Oh, hello everybody. It's your favorite streamer. Maybe. Northern Lion. It's me. I'm playing the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Had, like, the last two runs have been truly incredible. The Keeper still needs Boss Rush, Polaroid. Cat, would you like to... Okay, he's taking a seat. You don't need to kick everything off of the desk to take a seat, you know? I don't understand. This cat, he sleeps on top of stuff. If you put, like, a piece of paper on the table, he'll sleep on the piece of paper. Now he's like, nah, you know what? This is my bed. Get it out of here. Oh, there you go, buddy. There you go. Okay, he's mad. Obviously, more challenges need to be done as well. But I am kind of... I mean, I'm looking at... Forgotten... Mega Satan Hush. Good lord. You know what? Back asswards. I don't even remember. You start with Mega Satan. I vaguely remember that. And you start with like a random assortment of items, which actually seems exceptional right now because I'm starting with Libra Soy Milk, which means all of our stats are just incredible. We have a 2 rate of fire and then 25 damage. I'm pretty sure this is a direct... Oh my god, we do have Lusty Blood as well. Good god. I mean, it's only giving us 0.02 damage. But this is an unbelievably good start. So I figured, you know what? Why not start working on these challenges? We do have little stuff to take care of. A lot of greedier runs, or at least a few greedier runs still to go. Little things here or there on the post-it notes, of course. So what I remember from Bass Ackwards is that we start here, and we have to go all the way back to the first floor. We lose an item per floor, or perhaps several items per floor. But honestly, this run is so good right now. There is an item you could take away to ruin it. You know what it is? You can probably figure it out for yourself. It's Libra. Surely, some of our stats would get a lot better if Libra was taken away. Well, I don't know. Our rate of fire would probably double. Or, like, halve, I guess. No, the rate would double. The cooldown would halve. You know, it would be a positive for our rate of fire is what I'm trying to say. I don't know how it would impact our damage. I imagine it would come down. Looking at the other stuff there, I don't know. Our speed might come down, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. As long as we kept our other stats available. Okay, crack it, crack it. Thank you for the Spirit Heart. Crack it, crack it. I don't really want to do this whole floor. I'm willing to leave here. I don't remember this one being that tough, but it might also just be luck of the draw depending on what you get, you know? I forgot it does open with 2 boss fights. I believe we have lost Soy Milk, which is another... it's a bad one to lose. I can't believe we didn't get hit there. In fact, that was an incredibly bad one to lose. Wait, do I have aura? Or what? Why did I... No, okay, something went wrong there. But in a good way. I got hit and I got stats. Where did the stats come from? Leprosy? Leprosy plus Libra? You know, we're constantly in this, like, reverse engineering pattern here. No, sorry, it's still Lusty Blood, isn't it? It's probably when we split him in half. Okay. So, you know, the run is weird. It should get easier as time goes on. Thank you, Host Hat, for saving me from myself. Take it on me. It should get easier as time goes on, because the enemies are going to get easier as time goes on, but it's going to get harder because we're going to be losing items. In particular, I actually think it's going to start out being... Thank you, Host Hat. I am an idiot. It's going to start out being kind of terrible now that we've lost Soy Milk, but these first few floors, we're not going to get too many items. After we make it down to, like, you know, the Depths 1, sorry, Depths 2, we'll start to pick up some items on a more consistent basis. Life will be more positive for us. We did lose our orbitals. I don't know why that word was so hard to say. Maybe because it has no other existence in the human language. Orbital. This is a bad fight. I can't stress to you enough how much it sucked to lose Soy Milk. Which was actually, apparently, like, buoying this entire run. I was saying boo earns. So yeah, we got these 5 challenges. Following these 5 challenges, we got to go back, and there's probably like 6 of them that we still have to do apart from that. I don't remember any of the ones that are in here. I don't remember their names. Except for Bass Ackwards, but it's kind of not fair because I'm, you know, doing that one at the present moment. I hope you understand why that seems a little bit strange to me. I will take the pill. Really? It's here? I'm happy to have the bombs now, but... Good. Give me Crystal Ball, please. The Ace of Clubs. Dude, how sick would it have been if Motorhead made a whole series out of the Ace of Spades? Like, that's what I would have done. So the Ace of Spades, you know, great song. People like it a lot. What do you do next? Ace of Hearts. And it could be more like a love ballad, you know? Here she stands. Your heart stops. Here she stands, and then it starts. She's the Ace of Hearts, the Ace of... And then, once they got through all of the suits, they could have just done every card. You know, can't you imagine, like, you know, the 6 of Spades, the 6 of Spades. Just think about it, okay? The bit, it's got a ways to go, but I like it. It lives. This is what I'm talking about. First off, that's what I looked like when I woke up this morning, but secondarily... We basically opened this with like a boss rush. I don't have time as of yet to look and see what we've lost, but we can definitely still fly. We definitely have Host Hat. We lost Libra, which doesn't seem that bad after we've lost Soy Milk. Does it just pull from the bottom? If that's the case, we're going to lose our speed upgrade next, which doesn't seem that bad. Seems like we'll probably consider that okay as long as we get to keep Lord of the Pit. So if that's the case, it might just be coincidence, but what would be taken from us last? Host Hat, Leprosy, Dogtooth, Lusty Blood. Lusty Blood is the big one. Like, that's such a huge enabler for us right now. It's like our only damage upgrade now. You didn't realize, you know, Soy Milk and Libra basically by themselves were pulling all this weight. Don't do it. Don't you do it. He's doing... the shot speed is out of control. This guy's got Libra. Just be cool. Very simple. Very simple fight there. No deal with the devil. How rude. I would definitely not like to fight Hush. I also don't even know what would happen if we tried to do that. Now, few rooms of basic enemies. Things maybe start to come up a little bit more our speed, you know? Because after this, we fight a boss, and we get an item. So we can start to combat the loss of items that we've been dealing with up to this point. Don't do it. I mean, you gotta admit, we started so strong. Like, I'm so happy with the way that things began. I don't think you start with seeded items for Bass Ackwards, which I'm really hoping... Look, if that triggers Google DeepMind, we got problems, okay? Because the machines are too smart. That's an interpretive thing for it to do. I don't want my machines to interpret. I want them to, you know, execute. That sounds a little devastating. Or a little menacing, that's what I mean. Sorry, my brain, as mentioned, it doesn't work. I can feel myself slowly getting more and more congested. I got that sick brain. Now, it's very sobering, by the way, for me to realize that my sick brain is apparently way better at Isaac than my normal brain. Trust me, that fact has not been lost on me. That we have played pretty well, all things considered, and on top of playing pretty well, you know, we've managed to knock out a bunch of stuff. There's been a little bit of RNGesus help associated there, but simultaneously, like, you know, we've been doing some pretty surprising work. Considering that I should be a little bit more addled, at least. I did forget that we have Sack of Sacks. Just trying to find my way back to the spawn room. You know where it is. The story of my life. Get to the spawn. I'd play all night to keep her warm, and time is frozen. You might say, NL, how do you know a One Direction song? Let me tell you, I'm going to spin you a little yarn, okay? When I first started making Isaac content, One Direction, probably actually the most hated musical act in the world. Because there's nobody teenagers hate more than the musicians or bands that other teenagers love. So I don't know. I don't know what's happened to One Direction. You know, I know that a couple of them left. Maybe they're well respected now that they haven't been around for a while. It's like a Backstreet Boys situation. Trust me, I've been there. But I don't know that song, or I didn't know that song until I did karaoke in San Jose. And then a middle-aged man who looked exactly like Morgan Spurlock came up and just, I gotta be honest, friggin' nailed it. I'm still not a big fan of the song, but, you know, his rendition was wonderful. Anyway, I'm just gonna need you to not hit me anymore. I mean, I do, you know, I take ownership for my own role. But simultaneously, I'd like you to recognize that I have 5.6 damage and a very poor rate of fire. I should very much like to do more damage. Unfortunately, that's not in the cards for me right now. When one of you dies, I will get like a 0.4 damage buff. 0.6, okay, what am I complaining about? This could be where it starts to all come together. Because right now, we're definitely getting weaker faster than we're facing weaker enemies. And, you know, Scapular... It's not a great one to lose, except that I never use it appropriately anyway. I have very small karaoke stories, by the way. So it was a cool karaoke place, the likes of which I have, actually never seen before. So I lived in Korea for a year. I did a lot of what's called noraebang. It's private room karaoke. So you and like, you know, 2 to 20 of your friends will rent a room for like an hour. In Korea, it was really cheap. The same kind of setup in North America, even if it's a Korean-run place, tends to be very expensive. I didn't know how lucky I had it. But I've also, you know, I've been to the classic, like, North American karaoke style, where it's like, you know, one microphone in a big bar, usually, and then somebody sings for 50 people. I definitely prefer the noraebang style, but this place was cool, because there were like 12 seats, and then one karaoke machine behind the bar, and then you'd kind of like, you'd pick a song, but then everybody else in the room would be like, oh, I know it, and they would join you. It was one of the coolest places I've ever been for meeting new friends, which oftentimes does not actually happen. I know I sound like an idiot right now, mostly because of my congestion, but still. And, you know, I was wearing a hat from Roots. It has a maple leaf on it. And somebody chose the song It's All Coming Back to Me Now by Celine Dion. And they said I sang this song for all my Canadian friends. And I was like, I don't know it. But then, you know, it's all coming back to me now. Something like that. Anyway, it's been a while. 3 or 4 days. They all pointed to me and they were like, you know this song. And I was like, I don't know this song. And they sang it and killed it. Congratulations. Then I put on Californication and I sang it. And I said, this is the song I sing for all my American friends. The problem is I can't sing. If you'll give me a moment, I'm going to blow my nose. So come. Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind. Sorry, I muted myself in the middle of that. Again, because I hit the space bar on the wrong window. Little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen potatoes. Anyway, you get the idea. The point is, I made a joke, and then people chuckled, and then I was like, oh, at the end of this joke, I gotta sing a 4-minute long song, and nobody joined in. Everyone was just like, when is this over? And I was like, I feel you. That's the end of the karaoke songs. I like going to karaoke. I'm not self-conscious about my voice, because I know that it's bad. And there's a certain confidence that comes from that, you know? As strange as it may sound, I don't have anxiety about singing in public because I know that my singing voice is not good. So it's not like, oh, what if I get up there and people don't like it? It's more like I know people are not going to like it. And then when they're like, your singing voice isn't that good, I go, yeah, I know. Thanks for reaffirming the suspicions that I've had for a long time. So people always assume that if I don't want to sing at karaoke, it's because I'm nervous. It's not the case. There are people who are really good. One of the people we went with had no idea. She used to be like a musical theater performer. She was absolutely crushing it. And then she was like, you should sing. And I'm like, I don't want to sing because your singing is so good and you clearly enjoy it. My singing is bad, and I like it okay. You do the numbers, you know? It's more fun for me to listen to you sing than it is for you to listen to me sing. Dude, this run is blowing me away right now. Please let me out of this floor. I want to go where the people are. Something is, and I see them dancing. I don't know all the... Look. A lot of memories there are fleeting. My other one is I was taking... Every karaoke book is its own sort of different beast, you know? Some of them have a lot of rap music, some of them have none. Or they only have, like, Men in Black by Will Smith. This one was definitely on the low side. I did manage to get Gin and Juice by Snoop Dogg, which is nice, you know? Everybody knows the chorus, they can get in. But what they did have in the foreign songs section is a song by a French horn dog called Serge Gainsbourg. You may, if you're the artsy type, you may already know Serge Gainsbourg for his historic album, The Ballade du Melody Nelson, where every song is like a rolling bass line, and then he goes, huh? Melody. I've listened to this album like 500 times. I don't speak French, though, so I don't know the words. Anyway, you may also know him for his historic daughter, Charlotte Gainsbourg, who has been in many movies. I'm trying to think of them right now, but I promise you, if you look her up, you'll be like, yeah, I've seen something that she's in. I think she was in a Beck music video. I know that's not exactly, like, high praise. You get the idea, though. I'm not insulting Beck there, by the way. Dude, we're starting to get screwed on this run. Please, give me a little bit more gasoline. Anyway, there's a song in there. It's by Serge Gainsbourg and his former girlfriend or wife, and I can't remember if she was of age, but anyway, you may know her as well. She's a model from the, you know, mid-20th century called Jane Birkin. Anyway, the song is called Je t'aime mon ne plus, or something like that. Anyway, the whole song, nobody got the joke on Twitter, because I'm followed by a bunch of Philistines who don't care about art, okay? Sorry, Ruka, I didn't mean to wake you up there. But the song is literally like this woman moaning in the background orgasmically, and it's not like it's meant to be that. It's not like it's an accident, you know. It's art for that sake. And then you know, she goes like Je t'aime, and she's moaning and stuff like that, and then Serge Gainsbourg comes on and goes, and then she just whispering sweet nothings into your ear the whole time. Very awkward song to sing with a stranger. I didn't choose it. Nobody played it. I was just saying, though, it would be funny if somebody did. I'm not going to tell you the name of the place. You got to find it for yourself. It'll be an adventure, but bring your lady friend, or I don't know, a very progressive mother with you, and then go sing Je t'aime at this place. It'll be cool. It'll be fun, I promise. Hey, look, we made it to Boss Rush. I do kind of want to black rune it, but it's a bad idea. Like a really, really bad idea. Just thought it was really funny that the karaoke was like classic karaoke. There were like 45 Disney songs, and then you're like, oh, Serge Gainsbourg. You're gonna think that that's a bad impression. By the way, that's not the case. That's a good Serge Gainsbourg impression. I just don't speak French. So, we have golden bombs. That is a golden gift. What are we gonna do? We're gonna use our golden bombs, and we're gonna quote On Golden Pond by the movie. Has Robert Redford in it. No, not the former president of the United States. That's Ronald Reagan. Genius. No, okay, that was lucky. The golden bombs are going to do me a great service here. So we have an obligation to ourselves and to the audience around us to try to get as many kind of improvements and items as we can on this floor. Restock, I don't know. There's options, I don't know, because we're going to lose a lot of those items. What I think we need is a room full of item pedestals, if possible, that we can black rune. It's not the easiest task, because the most obvious location for that is Boss Rush. I'm a little bit apprehensive, would be a good way to describe it. But I'm hoping there's some items that show up. You know, actually just getting this is pretty good. Truth be told, again, the floors should get easier and easier. We do definitely want to go to the item room. The floor should get easier and easier, so if we could just preserve our HP, that's probably okay. That's the end of my karaoke story. The end. Well, actually, it's not, because then, like, the dude who sang Story of My Life by One Direction was asking us where we were from. And then, I said we were from Vancouver, BC. And then he said, hey, this guy over here is from Vancouver, BC. And then this really, like, belligerent drunk dude started talking to us, which was his friend. I'm not blaming him for it, I'm just saying. And he's like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, we live in this neighborhood. And he's like, oh, cool, I grew up here. And then he's like, where are you from? To my wife. And she's like, well, originally I grew up in this place. It's a suburb, like, outside of Vancouver. And he pointed at her and was like, that's not Vancouver. That's not Vancouver. Why are you pretending you're from Vancouver? And I was like, where do you live, buddy? And he's like, well, I lived in London for 8 years, and now I live in Los Angeles, you know, California. I was like, okay, I don't know why you think you're dealing with yokels here. I'll have you know, we're in California right now, you big dummy. You know, this city of angels, lonely as I am. Now that is a lie. Anyway, then he tried to tell us that, you know, he hadn't lived there since like 1996. And I was like, okay, cool, dude. Why are you being so aggressive, you weirdo? He told us he went to, I'm not going to name names here, but he's like, yeah, I grew up in Vancouver. I went to school with this guy. And this guy is an announcer or a sports analyst on like the third most popular sports network in Canada, a country with 33 million people. So I'm not trying to insult the person that he claims to, there's no item rooms. I'm not going to try to insult the person that he went to school with because that person wasn't there. And they might be a perfectly nice person. I have no reason to assume that they're not. But your friend, or at least the person who pretended to be your friend, is kind of a dickhead. Anyway. Take me up. Boss fight time. Give me some golden bombs, please. I think I would like to pick up an item that we would do something to with Black Rune. Just so... Oh, dude, we're gonna lose Sack of Sacks. Been too long. I'm glad to be back. Just so I can get a stat, because the stat is not going to leave me. We did just lose our Devil Deal chance. Get used to it. And anyway, I was mad for two reasons. First off, I was like, you're being a jerk. And then secondly, I was like, you going around telling people you're from Vancouver, you're going to make everybody think that people from here are jerks, you jerk. Anyway. He was also the only person at karaoke worse than I was at singing, so... Runs in the blood. So anyway, I don't like that guy. Stay away from me, please. Dude, we're running into like a statistical wall here. I think, I'm trying to run the numbers in my head, and I'm like, we are getting close to the end. Like a Yes song. They did also have, and this is, again, every karaoke machine's its own beast. They had Roundabout by Yes, and I cannot think of, well, I can think of one worse karaoke song because Mouth did it. And it's Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Not a bad song to sing until you remember that it starts with like, you know, 4 or 5 minutes of just guitar. But anyway, that's Mouth. He does that from time to time. You can ask him, he'll tell you. And I know exactly what he's going to say after he tells you. He's going to go, well, nobody else was singing, so I just put 45 songs into the machine, and that would happen to be one of them. And then you have to tell him after that, you go, Mouth, that's not how karaoke works. Everybody puts in one song at a time. You don't put in a block of like 40 and then ask people to slot stuff in the middle. We've been over it time and time immemorial. Anyway, yeah, they had Roundabout by Yes, which I can only imagine being a good time. You know, I'm looking at this Fool card, and I'm realizing the Fool card is an Emperor card on Bass Backwards. It must be. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'm not saying there's no words in Roundabout. I'm just saying it's like, you know, when you go to karaoke, you can't be, excuse me, do you have any trivium? You know, do you have any In Flames on here? Maybe you can make your own karaoke place that has that. That would be cool too. That's not, you gotta make a sacrifice in the, you know, you gotta start singing some popular hooky music, okay? Keep on pushing my love over the borderline, etc., etc. You think I like Californication? No. I sacrificed myself for a joke. So what I'm gonna do... My leprosy. Ah! They also only had one Creed song, and it was My Sacrifice, which made me very upset. So it was like, if you're only... I can't sing Creed anyway, I know from experience. But, you gotta... My Sacrifice is like, it's a top 5 Creed song. But you gotta have One Last Breath and or higher, at least. And then, if possible, the one that goes, I should have been dead on a Sunday morning, banging my head. But that was from, like, 1997, before they had their breakout album, Human Play. So I don't necessarily expect it. Like, just to have My Sacrifice is, like, you know, it's a little weak. It's on the weak side. So here's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Take me up. See the boss. We should lose Sack of Sacks, I think. Yes. I will fight Gertie. And there goes my deal. No, my deal with the Devil Chance lives because I have a Spirit Heart. That's correct. I will fight Gertie because I can, first off, get a deal with the devil, which might immediately be purged from the run anyway, but, you know, win in Rome. But on top of this, we can build our damage off of the little minions. Great stuff. HP could become valuable. We come in here, Lil Brim. I like it. Fool card out. Look at that. So we're on... We should be on Basement 2? No, Caves 1. I am a fool. So Little Brim is gone. No, Little Brim is still here. So the items are reshuffling. Dude, I don't know how it friggin' works. We lost Lusty Blood. But to lose Lusty Blood, but keep Little Brim, that's worth something. We also got another deal with the devil. Dude, I'm not messing with you. I would love Krampus's head. We definitely lost our ability to fly at some point as well. Because I ain't got wings. Lump of coal, you know what I'm going to say. It may not be an item we're that happy to see, but it's an item we won't be that sad to lose. Even though, you know, anything that gives you damage is worth something. I gotta be honest, you're probably like, Anna, why are you recording right now? You sound like garbage. Let me give you the same spiel I give myself. I feel fine, it's just my body is lying to me and telling me it's infected with some kind of garbage, right? Obviously that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but the truth is, I'm procrastinating because I have an assignment due tonight. Not an assignment, a lab. It's smaller than an assignment. Larger than a quiz, but smaller than an assignment. Probably take me 2 or 3 hours to do. Is due in 6 hours. Normally I'm way ahead of the curve on time management, but it got assigned at a class I was not at because I was at TwitchCon. And then is due, you know, at midnight tonight. So I gotta do it, but I'm procrastinating. I am. It's a bad habit. And I'm gonna do it tonight. Because I gotta be honest, I started into the college rationalizations, and I was like, this thing's worth 1% of your mark. And I was like, yeah, but what message does it send to the little Hulkamaniacs out there if I say, oh, it's okay to not do this assignment, it's only worth 1% of your mark? You know what kind of message it sends? A bad one. Because it's not just the assignment. You do the assignment. The assignment gives you the information and tools and the skills you need in order to, because everything builds on itself, so you gotta do the assignment. Otherwise, when you go to the next class, you're gonna be like, what the heck, how do I connect to a database when I'm using Java? I know how to do it in C#. You use Entity Framework, and then you go into the, the modeled SQL Server option. It's been a while, to be honest. It's not my favorite part of programming because I'm a sane human being. I don't know how to do it in Java yet. We're gonna win. This is obvious. We have won. That was a good run. Little Brim did a lot of work towards the end there. Laz bleeds more. Oh, thank God I got that out of the way. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more of the future. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya.